Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub, Pub Sports Radio, Friday, March 30 in Cameron. Skee Profit, Billy Briz, ready to break down the Monday slate. Big slate on tap tonight in the NBA. We've got a grand total of 10 games. Let's start with Orlando and Charlotte to get it going. We've got Orlando 3.5-point road favorites, 225 being the total in this game. And, of course, for Charlotte, you have to start talking, of course, about the situation involving LaMelo Ball. It's obviously a big deal. And we saw the other night against the Phoenix Suns, it was a chore for them. They lost 105-91 that first game. Look how the offense just suffered. Only scored 91 points in that game. We'll see if they can bounce back with a better performance here tonight against Orlando. The Magic coming off a loss to the Milwaukee Bucks. 139-117, but Milwaukee is absolutely rolling right now, so really no shame in that. They did beat New Orleans before that, this Orlando team. I kind of like Orlando here. I mean, we are talking about them now in the role of road favorites, so it's not my favorite role necessarily, but I think it's tough to back Charlotte right now without Ball. Gordon Hayward, I think, is someone you can point to in the prop market. Someone's going to have to score. Rozier maybe as well. To step up offensively. As far as on the Orlando side, Franz Wagner has been heating up lately, and Paolo Banchero is always maybe worth a look in terms of props here. But from a side perspective, I think Orlando or nothing for me. I'm not ready to take Charlotte. Skee, what do you think here? Orlando, Charlotte.
Yeah, I bet this game under the total, and I believe I got 227.5. But, just what you're saying, Hornets without LaMelo, the pace is going to drop. The offense is not going to be as efficient. He leads them in points. He leads them in assists. So that's my thought process. And I know Charlotte has went under, I think, 5 straight. And if you look at what both of these teams are combining to average over the last 2 weeks, I think they're 71 to the under, not even making it to 220 points. So I think this one is another one that struggles to get to 220. I'll take the under.
All right. Probably makes a lot of sense. I agree that the under here. Billy, what do you think?
My bad. I keep on chewing on M&Ms over here. Prop-wise, should be a solid night for Wendell Carter Jr. Usually like to attack Charlotte with the centers. Paolo's coming off an off game versus the Bucks, but understandably so. He should bounce back tonight. His over-under tonight is 20.5, minus 120. I like the over on that. Hornets are 21st in defense and 4th in pace. Should be a good game environment for him. Even with LaMelo out, I'm passing on all Hornets props tonight. The books just had them fucking juiced, man. I thought I was going to like Kelly Oubre, and I saw 3.5 at plus 148. FanDuel can give you enough profit boost for trade ball day as they want, and I still wouldn't play that shit. Magic are 1-4 ATS last 5 overall. And the Hornets are 4-1 ATS last 5 home games and 5-1 last 6. Magic are 5-2 in their last 7 meetings in Charlotte. I lean towards the Magic here. This is a short number considering the way that they've been covering spreads all year, but something feels Vegas tricky about this game. Maybe the Hornets get back on the roll. Doesn't feel like a spot that if I played this spot, I would be on the Magic first half money line. That's been a nice little trend for them of recent these last couple of weeks. They've been covering these first half spreads, and they're always pretty low numbers too. It's usually like a bucket or 2 or something like that, and that's the same type of scenario that we fall into tonight. Them on the road, and I think they covered first half and full game. Could get into a Vegas tricky spot here. A lot of public money coming in on the Magic, but the line isn't really moving.
All right. Yeah, I agree. I hope I'm not the mouse that were the cheese. They're putting down the cheese, and I'm the mouse going after it. I hope that's not the case here.
That's how it felt with the Pacers last night, Babano. I was sitting right here, and I was like, man, this shit feels tricky, man. Like, it feels like a Vegas trap spot.
Yeah, I hope not, because I'm on that Orlando side, but we'll see how it plays out. Next up, we've got on the schedule tonight, Portland, Atlanta. Atlanta, 8-point home favorites. Huge total here, 241. In this game with the Blazers and the Hawks. Atlanta comes into this game off a loss to Washington earlier this week, 119-116. A couple of days since that game, they'll be looking to rebound. Portland off a 121-110 loss to the Pelicans, their second straight loss and their 4th loss in the last 5 games, and the only win was against the lowly lottery-bound Houston Rockets. So, it does feel like Atlanta should bounce back, should win this game. I actually think they might cover here, but I'm never really comfortable laying 8 with Atlanta. This kind of number on the Atlanta Hawks, especially because it looks like on their side of the fence, Trae Young's been dealing with the groin issue, but he's going to play through it. It does look like it won't impact his ability to play. He will be on the floor in the lineup. for the Hawks tonight in this game. I just don't feel comfortable laying this many, but it probably is a favorable spot for the home favorite in this game. Keep in mind they did beat Cleveland and Brooklyn before that loss to Washington, so they were playing a couple of nice home games before that. I agree with the total getting pounded up. The over is cashed in 6 of the last 7 meetings between the Hawks and the Blazers. And earlier this year, we saw 254 points between these two teams in Rip City earlier this year. So that game got into the 250s. So lots of offense on the court, obviously, led by Dame Lillard, of course, on the Portland side. So, and they're not playing great defense. So I agree with the total going up to the 241 range. I still think you can play it over. What do you think here, Skee? Blazers, Hawks?
I just really don't trust either team defensively. Hawks have been giving up, 121, close to 122 points per game the last 2 weeks, and Blazers close to 123. So only way I could look here is to bet the over. Not a game I'm, really interested in putting my money on.
First half might be the better bet if you like Atlanta. I think that's probably a little bit better if you like them in this game. What do you think here, Billy?
Yeah, this is a pretty interesting game. This definitely caught my interest today on the slate. The Hawks are 1-4 ATS in the last 5 overall, but oddly enough, man, they played really well on Fridays. Razor pointed that out last week. They're 10-5 or 10-4 ATS last 14 Friday games. I usually don't really read into those type of stats, but Friday's actually the one day that actually does kind of matter. You're heading into the weekend. That is actually a predictable trend. The Trailblazers are 2-11 ATS in their last 13 road games and 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games overall. They're a little bit banged up right now. Their form is starting to fall off. I like the Hawks to pull out the win here tonight, but with that caveat, man, I gotta ride with my guy, man. Cam the Scam Reddish over 1.5 3-pointers tonight, -128. He's going to be inserted inside the starting lineup tonight with Anthony Simons out. And over the weekend, we saw when he was getting a lot of minutes, his 3-point prop was at 2.5 at plus money. Now we're getting that nice little generic number at 1.5 tonight at -130. Revenge game in Atlanta. I think Cam Reddish might be enough for the Trailblazers to push them over the hedge here and cover the spread. But this looks like a good spot for Trae Young too, over 26.5 points, -125. DeJounte should get the Thibault matchup, and Trae Young is red hot right now, 30+ in 3 straight games. With Quinn letting him go with the green light at home, it seems like Trae Young performance after performance so far since the new hiring. And DeJounte Murray over 1.5 3-pointers. You can get that +106 with the FanDuel odds boost today. He's been averaging 2.1 3-pointers made per game in the month of February. In 11 games, he's gone 7 out of his last 11 games over, and the Blazers are 25th in 3-pointers made allowed to opposing guards. And he went, I think that says 3-4, or no, that says 4-4-7 from the 3-point line in their first matchup. So good spot here for DeJounte Murray. But me personally, I got to put my money on the narrative. And the narrative tonight is Cam the Scam Reddish in the revenge game after a team that absolutely deserted him, gave him away to the deserted island. Cam Reddish is going to go off tonight against the team that formerly drafted him. He's got something in his heart tonight, and I think that's going to put the Blazers over top of the Hawks tonight. I would bet the Blazers +8.5.
All right, led by Cam Reddish and Lillard, of course, but definitely Reddish to have a big impact as well. Yeah, we can't. I like how you said led by Reddish. Don't forget about Dame. But yeah, I know what you mean. Cam Reddish against his old team, he's going to want to definitely make an impact. I like the Trae Young prop because not only is his prop 26.5 points, he's averaging 33 in the last 3 games. So there's a lot of wiggle room there. He's averaging 33. That's 6.5 points off the prop. Essentially the prop number. So that makes sense too in there. And shocker, Trae Young is scoring and shooting and just playing better and feeling better. Doesn't like old coach. New coach comes in, old slick back brethren of mine, Quinn Snyder. And all of a sudden now he's he's happy again and he's playing like it on the basketball court for the Atlanta Hawks. All right, and I like the over in that game as well. All right, next up we got Brooklyn and Boston. Boston 11-point home favorites here, 227 the total in this matchup. The Celtics last game against Cleveland bounced back after the loss against the Knicks, but not enough to cover. They were only laying at 4.5, 5. They won by 4, 117, 113. This is a team that, believe it or not, when they've been laying bigger points at times, it's not exactly a team I'm rushing to do it with in terms of laying 11, kind of like this. But we're starting to see Brooklyn look like the Brooklyn we thought we might see from them. And after trading away both Irving and Durant, they've lost 4 straight. They've only covered once during that span. And other than the Atlanta loss, 3 of the losses have been by ugly blowout double-digit defeats. So it's been a rough go here for Brooklyn in this game. But it is a lot of points here to be laying with Boston in this matchup tonight. Too many, I think, for me personally to be laying with them. And if you look at their situation, it looks like Malcolm Brogdon, ankle injury, but he will play. He's been upgraded to probable. And on the Brooklyn side, it's just basically Sumner and, of course, Ben Simmons, as usual, out for them, but everybody else accounted for. I don't really have a strong feel for this game, really, side or total in this one. The total currently at 227.5. You look at the way Brooklyn is played. They've kind of struggled on defense 2 of these last 3 games. So it kind of has me thinking the over could be a good bet here, and Boston's kind of trended that way. They've gone over the total their games in 6 of the last 8. So I'd lean over, if anything, here, but I don't have a strong feel for the side. I don't want to lay 11 with Boston. I'm not excited about taking a team that's been blown out by double digits in 3 of their last 4 games either. What do you think here in this one, Skee? Nets, Celtics.
I agree that I expect some points. And, when I think about this Nets team, or when I was thinking about them, it seemed like a group of really solid defenders, but we're not really seeing that. The past 2 weeks, they're giving up an average of 130 points per game. And I know so far the Celtics this season at home, they're averaging 121.1 points. Their team total for tonight is 119. Lines up for an over team total for me on this game.
All right, over the team total here for Skee on this one. All right, Billy, what do you think?
Damn, Skee, you reading a page straight from the book, man. That's why I got all the notes right here, man. I'm sipping the same cup of tea as Skee right here, man. The Nets defense is supposed to be good on paper, but in reality, they're really not. They're 11-5-1 to the over last 17 games. Celtics 6-2 to the over last 8 overall. The Nets are 0-6 in their last 6 meetings head-to-head. Even though the Celtics are 18-14 ATS at home, they should score a lot here and win this game. The Nets last 5 games, they have the 28th worst defensive rating in the NBA. The Celtics are rolling right now, 8-2 straight up, 7-3 last 10 games. I like the Celtics team total over 120.5. And for narrative theory, we got to go down the rabbit hole, and rabbit hole we go. Jason Tatum, 25th birthday is tonight, baby. Happy birthday, Jason Tatum. And we're rocking out with the Jason Tatum over 3.5 3-pointers. Got it profit boosted on FanDuel at plus 193. Tatum's top 5 in 3-pointers attempted and made per game. The Nets defense since KD's trade, 25th in opponent 3-pointers made. Should be closer to plus 110. Great value tonight. Jason Tatum, happy birthday. He's going to go off, and I'm rocking with the Celtics team total over. I'm with you, Nasty Nate. Celtics trifecta, baby. I'm liking the Celtics tonight. All aboard the Celtics trade we go.
There you go, Celtics, and the team total laying the points, and hopefully enough from Brooklyn for the over, because I'll be looking at that as well, the full game over 227. All right, New York and
Babano is the Nets scoring. That's the reason why I went the team total over. Yeah. I know the Celtics could score. I don't know about the Nets, man.
Well, exactly. I mean, there's pieces that should be able to produce offensively for them with Dinwiddie and Bridges in particular, but you're not always getting that from them right now on a nightly basis at the moment. New York and Miami, a lot of money here on New York, 3-point road favorites. The total now sitting at 215 in this game. I think I agree. I like New York here in this spot. I like the way they're playing right now. How do you not take them? I mean, they are 9-1 straight up their last 10 games, 9-1 ATS in those last 10 games either. And Miami was in a situation where, they beat Philly the first game. That was a good win for them. But really outside of that, they weren't able to follow it up. Sixers bounced back 119-96. And before that, they had lost 4 in a row straight up in ATS, including some really bad losses, one to Charlotte as well. So I just don't trust the way Miami is going right now. Every single night there's a different lineup. Looks like Hero is in tonight. Kevin Love in the starting 5 is not something that sits well with me. Jimmy Butler questionable right now with a right knee injury. So we'll see if he suits up for the Miami Heat. That's probably even a bigger factor in why New York's taking the money. It's not just the Knicks' great current form right now, but it's also the Butler maybe missing this game for Miami, and we know how important he's been for them lately. So, but I still like the move. I agree with it. They opened Miami a 1-point home favorite. Knicks now laying 3. You're not getting the best of it now, so maybe you take money line, maybe you take first half, something like that. But I do agree with the push to New York. I mean, better team, better form right now. Skee, what do you think? Knicks Heat.
Give me the Knicks in the first half. They've cashed 4 of their last 5. They're 43-19 on the season, going up against Miami, who's 3-7. I think their last 10. If you want to look just specifically at home, 0-5 last 5, 2-8 last 10, and on the season in general, 27-35. So I know post All-Star break, nothing has changed. First half margins plus 13.75 for the Knicks, minus 7.5 for Miami. I just have to take the Knicks first half -1.
All right, Billy.
I like Skee's play right there, man. That would be the way I would look at this one because full game spread feels kind of Vegas trappy spot here. Knicks seem like they should be bigger favorites here in this spot. They're 6-0-1 ATS last 7 overall. Usually a good team to back on the road, 30 and 11 ATS last 41 road games. Heat 1-5 ATS last 6 overall. Haven't really been a good home team, and I honestly don't think Jimmy Butler plays tonight. Maybe. Just speculating a little bit. I like the Knicks here. Another road favorite covering back-to-back games, but I'd rather bet them first half. Prop-wise, you rocking with Emmanuel quickly tonight, Babano? Babano put a
yeah, absolutely. How can you not? This is just every single game with this guy right now. No doubt about it.
Yeah, his point prop tonight's 12.5 minus 115. That looks like good money. And Quentin Grimes, too, man. I feel like both of these players have really benefited from the downplay of RJ Barrett, opening up more shots for them. And Quentin Grimes over 6.5 points, minus 138 tonight. Seems like another good spot. He had a 20-point game in the last game. Him and Quickly have both been balling. I like their point props tonight, but nothing in my pocket here for this game. We got fights starting around this time. We got the PFL going off tonight, week 6, Cage Warriors 149, San Diego. So unless I feel strong-heartedly about it, I will not be playing any leans tonight.
It's 9 straight games. 9 straight games over the point prop for Emmanuel Quickly for the New York Knicks coming off the bench. And it's always been 12.5, and he's gone over that in 9 straight games. So it's been, like I say, it's been quickly paying for me every single game lately for the New York Knicks. So stick with it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's been a great prop. It's been a money maker. And we'll go back to the well again, over 12.5 points for him in this game tonight. All right, next up here on the Friday card, we've got the Jazz and the Oklahoma City, the Thunder. Thunder 1-point home favorites, 231.5 the total. No SGA tonight. The money has moved on OKC, but it's not because he's back. He will be out again for the Oklahoma City Thunder in this game. And you see the way Oklahoma City's gone since the All-Star break. It's been rough. I mean, since they've come back from the break, 0-5 straight up in ATS. So those great cashing vibes with the Thunder are gone. They've lost back-to-back to the Kings, to the Lakers. They've lost to Phoenix and Utah as well. Coming out of the break. So it's tough to back Oklahoma City without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We know how important he's been. Do I want to take Utah? That's the question. I mean, they lost as 9.5-point favorites to San Antonio in their last game, 102-94. That's pretty hard to do. This is just a game that all around, I don't want OKC without SGA, but I'm not rushing to back the Jazz on the road here. So it's a pretty easy stay away. What do you think here, Skee?
Hey, shout out to the comments. They're not on here, but I see some of them though, man.
Yep.
I seen Razor. He's asking, you can try to be sharp if you want to. Bulls today. We haven't talked about that game. We'll talk about that game next. But you might have a little success today, Razor. It was another comment that caught my attention here. Noli, my boy Noli, shout out to him. He says MLB is coming, telling me to be ready. So I'm definitely gonna be ready. MLB,
he's ready to fade Kikuchi again. I'm sure.
Goddamn right I am. Everybody, I'm already hearing right now. Oh, Kikuchi might be good this year.
Yeah,
all right, we'll see. We'll see.
Let me not put a couple of spring training starts. Oh my gosh, come on.
Yeah, you're funny.
We'll see, man. Utah, OKC though. I'll go. I don't love this game, but I will say no SGA and no Clarkson. I just feel like that's a hell of a lot of points missing from both teams. Utah's been playing under games lately. Only way I would play this game is less points, so under the total as a lean.
All right, there we go. Under for Skee in this one. All right, Billy, what do you think?
I'm right there. I feel like I'm right there with Skee, man. Again, not a game that I really want to play on either side. It feels like a battle of the tank, man. What team wants to not make the playoffs more? Prop-wise, though, I see a lot of people in the chat talking about Kelly Olynyk, man. It's Walker Kessler season, man. Kessler, first matchup versus the Thunder, he had 18 rebounds. And furthermore, over the last 5 games, Kessler's averaging 12.8 rebounds and it's gone over his 11.5 rebound prop in 4 straight games. So his rebound prop tonight at plus money seems like another good spot tonight. Kessler's just been going off. Not the rookie wall for him. Ever since they had that little All-Star weekend and he participated in the skills competition, Kessler's feeling the mojo a little bit, coming out the All-Star break a little bit hot, and the coaching staff is finally starting to insert him into the plans for the future and give him more minutes, and he's been benefiting from it a lot.
All right, we have the Suns and the Bulls next up. Phoenix and Chicago. Phoenix 3.5-point road favorites, 222.5 the total in this game. So this opens, it looks like at 6.5 with the Suns as road favorites, and it's all the way down to as low as 3.5. Is someone out? And yet I see on the sheet right now, I see Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Josh Okogie, Kevin Durant, DeAndre Ayton, starting 5 intact. It looks like for them, expected to play. I haven't heard anything otherwise. Chicago, obviously everybody except for Javonte Green is healthy. They're going to have Pat Bev, Caruso, Levine, Rosen, and Vucevic as the starting 5. But I definitely think I've got to look Phoenix here. It feels cheap. It looks cheap. Now I know Phoenix on the road hasn't always been good, but again, pre-Durant, this is different now with Durant obviously at Charlotte the other night, 105-91, a win and a cover on the road for the Phoenix Suns, 23 points, solid for Durant in that game. Devin Booker had an incredible game, 37 points, 15 of 26 shooting against the Hornets that night. So it'll be interesting to see how this one goes. I know for Phoenix, they don't play until at Dallas on Sunday. So, that's a Western Conference matchup. I get it. Maybe a little bit of a bigger game than this one, but I don't want Chicago only getting 3.5 at home when I know Phoenix has the better roster, better team. So I'm interested in Phoenix. I just want to make sure that everybody's in because this feels short considering it doesn't look like the Suns are going to have anybody out at the moment. What do you think here, Skee? Suns, Bulls?
Damn, I just had a random thought in my mind at that moment. But Suns, Bulls, I know Chicago has more of a defensive starting backcourt now with Beverly and Caruso. And just thinking about that, they've been playing some under games lately. I want to say 4 of their last 5, something like that. And the Suns, I just think it's going to take a minute for them to get all the offensive chemistry to start putting up the big numbers. So I lean towards the under here, but it's not a game that is in my pocket.
And you know what I have to bet here in this game? It's just because, and I mentioned this prop the other night and it cashed. I know turnover props aren't always everybody's cup of tea. But Kev, and look, it's minus 190, so it's the price has been increased on this. But Kevin Durant has had 2 turnovers or more in 17 straight games. 17 straight games. Kevin Durant with 2+ turnovers, and it's over 1.5 turnovers. Now, again, that prop is minus 190, so the juice is. I mean, I remember seeing that prop a week ago. It was like minus 135 or 40. So they're adjusting a little bit, but they haven't adjusted the number yet. They've adjusted the price, but they haven't adjusted the number. Again, he's had 17 straight games with at least 2 turnovers, Kevin Durant. So there it is. I'll bet it for something, even with the juice attached. What do you think here in this one, Billy?
Yeah, this game should be pretty interesting. This is the matinee marquee matchup of the night here. Anytime the Suns play, people are going to be tuned in. I like Chris Paul over 9.5 assists. He's been averaging 10.5 assists in his last 10 games, 11 assists first game playing with KD, with Beverly and Caruso on defense. I expect CP3 to be a little bit more passive tonight. That's why I like the assist prop, but not the double-double prop. Bulls are 2-8 ATS last 10 games overall. The Suns are 6-2 ATS in their last 8 road games and 4-1-1 last 6. I do like the Suns here at this spot tonight, but blind feels a little bit tricky, so I'm just going to try to stay off of these type of spots. I feel like these type of spots have been really where the books have been making a lot of money, is where all the money's coming in on one spot, the line's moving the other way. That tells you just to stay off. But Kevin Durant could be in another good spot tonight. I actually like his over 20 points, 21.5 points, actually. He's hit this in 9 out of his last 10 games, averaging 38 points versus Chicago. He's hit this 90% of the time, and he went over that prop. We talked about it on Wednesday, if he was going to go over it or not. And boy, did KD go over it, and he walked back to the locker room and came back to the bench. So, I mean, there's a couple more minutes that he probably could have possibly had. 27 minutes in his first game back. I don't see anybody on the Bulls really stopping him. So, another Kevin Durant point prop night, and I think the Suns roll here in this spot.
And you want another one that I like? Devin Booker over assists. It's only 5.5. He's getting mostly 7, 8 assists in a lot of the games lately, and he's gone over 5.5 assists. Devin Booker in 4 straight. I like that prop too. Yeah, go ahead, Skee.
No, I'm just enjoying Razor's comments. There's a couple. No, I just got to go through them all. He says, "Tell him, Skee. Suns only -3.5. No way they don't cover this. Lockwell of the year." And then he says, he comes down. He says, Durant added and his line is only 3.5. That's only 2 baskets, right?
I knew this would be a razor sharp game.
Yeah, it's
on top
fishy
of it.
for sure.
All over the Bulls here.
The one thing I'll say is the Bulls been playing some defense, and that's why. I mean, they're playing defense, and they should be desperate for wins. They're at home. Suns, I mean, they don't have a winning record on the road. I know they got Durant, but second game back. Yep. I understand why it's a contrarian play today. Can't talk anybody off the Bulls.
Yeah, you understand why it looks a little tricky. You're right on paper that with the the Suns laying this number, and again they're still trying to get their chemistry right. So interesting game though. We'll see how it plays out. All right, we got Memphis and Denver. Denver 5-point home favorites, 233.5 the total here in this game. The Nuggets. I mean, what a home record! How about 28-4 for them on their home floor this year? I did say Memphis, I was going to take a shot with laying the points with them on the road against Houston. And I said, if they don't cover in this game, I'm not going to take them on the road again for a very long time. But they got it done. They won 113-99 by 14 points. Just cover the number. Just did enough. The Nuggets, of course, I mean, they're playing really well. I don't think I want to step in front of Denver here. I know Memphis finally won and covered on the road there against Houston, but they're not playing Houston tonight. They're playing, obviously, this surging Denver Nuggets team. That being said, we'll have to keep an eye on the status of Aaron Gordon, although he's been upgraded to probable. Michael Porter's probable, too. So it looks like it's all hands on deck for the most part for the Nuggets here tonight. Jamal Murray's in. Nikola Jokic is in. KCP, Porter, and Gordon. So starting 5 looks like they're intact. And I remember the last time Denver played Memphis. It wasn't that long ago. It was in Memphis. And it was Memphis all over Denver, 112-94. This feels like a good spot. This feels like a reasonable number on the Nuggets as well. So I might get involved with Denver here, just laying the 4.5, 5 in this game. Skee, what do you think? Memphis, Denver.
I like the under in this game. They just played. First meeting went under. Bookmakers adjusted it down some. So I'm going to roll with the bookmakers and expect a lower scoring game. And I just think, when 2 of these top dogs play, especially in a conference game, they want to show each other, down the road. I'm the one who's, I'm the top dog for real. So when it's like that, playoff atmosphere, I think they come and play some defense. I like this one under the 234.
All right, there we go. Under the total. Playoff mentality between 2 Western Conference playoff-bound teams, no doubt. What do you think here, Billy?
I like the Nuggets here in this spot. I don't know if I want to make a move on it yet, just yet. But Grizzlies don't really play well on the road. They don't have Steven Adams. Not a team that I really want to back without Steven Adams. They're +5 for a reason. We got an in-season revenge spot. I think Jokic drops to triple-double and the Nuggets win here. And don't bet the Grizzlies until Steven Adams comes back. I mean, I never thought I would say that, but Steven Adams actually means a lot to this team. They've had some recent success. They're on a 3-game winning streak, but I think the Nuggets get back this one. This is sweet, sweet, sweet revenge. They just played literally last week in Denver, so I think they win this one.
All right, Denver. And a lot of people liking them early in our chat. Denver first quarter, first half. I certainly wouldn't talk anyone out of that. I'm going full game, but I wouldn't argue with the first quarter and the first half look on this surging Denver side, no doubt, and the revenge angle and that bizarre John Morant story. Like that was bizarre hearing that, what happened with him. But how was that playing in the Memphis room? That's an interesting question. All right, next up, we've got LA Clippers, Sacramento Kings. Sacramento 7.5 up to 8-point home favorites here, 240 being the total in this game. See, that's what pisses me the hell off with last night with what Ty Lue did. I mean, you're talking about how, okay, that game was getting away against Golden State. You had a great first half, and then all of a sudden Golden State mounted their comeback, and they blew you out in the fourth quarter. You decided to take your starters out with 8 fucking minutes left. My goodness, I was beside myself because I had some props still in play in that game that all came crashing down, including Paul George over points, and all of that went to shit because of the fact Ty Lue takes the starters out that early. And again, we know this is the NBA. You can come back. You can obviously still be in a game, even if you're down double digits in the fourth quarter. But he gave up on this game, and we were talking, Skee and I, probably because they're playing tonight once again on a back-to-back here against Sacramento. That's fine. But then what's not fine to me is that you're playing a back-to-back. You would say, we're waving the white flag on last night. We're punting on the game. We're not coming back. We want to save everybody for tonight. And then I find out fucking Kawhi Leonard's out tonight and resting. That's what pisses me off. Why is he not playing tonight then, resting? I mean, you had a chance to rest him last night down the stretch in the fourth quarter. Now he's not playing. It comes back to Charles Barkley earlier this week when he was on with Stephen A. talking about this load management shit. It's terrible. It's ruining this league. I've had enough of it, but it is what it is. We're not getting away from it anytime soon. Kawhi is out tonight for the LA Clippers. Powell out as well. Marcus Morris out. Zubats is also a game time decision for them with the calf injury. So probably that explains the move here on Sacramento, because I think it was just recently where we saw the confirmation of Kawhi out. And De'Aaron Fox, by the way, is good to go. He's been upgraded from questionable. So De'Aaron Fox will play. He missed the game against Oklahoma City the other night. So you got that combination, no Kawhi and De'Aaron Fox playing. I think that's definitely been a big reason why we are seeing the money now come in on Sacramento here in this game. But I'm not laying 8 at this point in time. I don't know. Maybe you take the Clippers at the best number possible. They could compete still with a team like Sacramento, even without Kawhi. But we're going to wait and see exactly who's going to be in for them. But I'm still not in a rush to lay these points with Sacramento. It's just not for me. What do you think here in this one, Skee? Clippers and Kings.
I think Kawhi out. I mean, everybody's out except Paul George, it seems like, with the report that was just coming out. So I don't know. I just don't know where all the offense can come from. I guess it's just resting Paul George show, right? Unless they go crazy for the entire game. I just don't see that many points here. I know the under 16-10 without Kawhi. I was kind of hoping De'Aaron Fox was going to be out here, but I will say I like that the Clippers played last night and the Kings play again tomorrow. So I look at those kind of games past few years. When it's a conference game, they are 58-43 to the under. That's a little bit below 58%. I don't know, just the way I think this game out, I feel like it's lower scoring with the pieces that are missing.
Yeah, Russell Westbrook's been trending over his assist prop, by the way. So maybe you look at that. Russell Westbrook over assists. De'Aaron Fox is coming off the 1-game absence with the wrist injury, but I'm still tempted to go back on a lot of his props because he's been going over the point prop. I think 7 straight games for him over points, De'Aaron Fox for Sacramento. So hopefully he's not too rusty from the injury absence. I don't think so. It was only a 1-game absence, but he's gone over his point prop 7 straight games, his points and rebounds over 7 straight, points and assists over 7 straight, and not even close. Like he's been averaging over 34 points, and his prop is 27.5 points. He's been averaging 38 points and rebounds, and his points and rebounds is 31.5. Points and assists, he's been averaging 41. His points and assist prop is 33.5. Like there's a lot of wiggle room for all those Fox props if you like them, and I kind of do. What do you think here in this one, Billy?
Yeah, I'll be quick, man. I got a weird headache. I like one prop in this game. I'm going with Paul George. Last night was a fucking embarrassment. 3 for 15, 1 for 8 from the 3-point line, 5 fouls. No Kawhi out there. He's going to go over this 2.5 3-point prop tonight. I got it at -118. We're riding with PG-13 tonight, man. Get your shit together.
Yeah, exactly. And not a great night for him last night, or the Clippers, especially in that second half. New Orleans.
It wasn't like he was being defended by I think DiVincenzo had him on clamps last night.
Yeah, that guy is a scrappy basketball player. Not delivery, it's DiVincenzo, but he can play a little bit, that guy. No doubt about it. All right, next up, we've got New Orleans.
Really quick. I just shortened the trend that I did, and just to see if it was still good this past calendar year, and it is. I just wanted to say that it's 62.9% under.
All right, to the under here in this Clippers, and it is a high total. Like you need a lot of points to get over this total. So if you like the under, you got a lot to work with here at 240. All right, we got Golden State 4.5-point home favorites, 231 the total in this one. Obviously, we have the Warriors, a massive comeback against the Clippers last night. Now they're on the second of back-to-back, although no travel, still at New Oracle here in San Francisco. New Orleans did finally get off the schneid. They had lost 4 in a row. They looked terrible since the All-Star break concluded, but they finally bounced back and got a win against Portland, 121-110 in their last game. We'll see if that can catapult them here tonight against the Golden State Warriors, who won't have, obviously, still Steph Curry, Wiggins, and Peyton still out. On the New Orleans side, JV doubtful, calf injury, so he won't suit up for them. Alvarado still out. Larry Nance still out, Josh Richardson still out, and Zion Williamson still out for New Orleans. So status quo, but I don't know. I kind of lean New Orleans here. I've been looking to bet New Orleans a lot during their struggles lately, but they got to win to get back on track. They catch Golden State maybe napping a little bit after the big comeback last night. I mean, certainly not a great spot to lay the points with the Warriors. I lean Pelicans, but the current form still worries me about this team at the moment. What do you think here in this one, Skee? Pelicans, Warriors?
I like the Warriors. And really, I know JV was doubtful and all this stuff, but I just like that the Warriors, I don't, even though they had to come back, I don't feel like it was too taxing in that last game. And then both times they played the Pelicans this season, they caught them, and it's the third time now. They caught them on the second of a back-to-back, but they're playing good basketball right now. Warriors are really good at the house. Pelicans are not. Just put it into numbers. Warriors are 26-7 straight up, 21-11 against the spread. Pelicans are 11-21 straight up, 12-19 against the spread. So home favorite off 4 straight wins for the Warriors, same season double revenge. I got to play the Warriors here. Only way I can look.
Yeah, certainly current form is still, like, I know they beat Portland, but big deal. You got to play someone a lot better tonight. Let's see how the New Orleans Pelicans handle it. Billy, what do you think here?
Klay Thompson's red hot right now. I like his over PRA tonight. He's gone over his PRA in 5 straight home games, 7 out of his last 10 games overall, and 16 out of his last 20 games overall. Going up against the Pelicans tonight seems like a soft matchup. Let's go, Klay Thompson. Roll.
All right, there we go. Klay Thompson, liking his props here for Golden State. All right, final game for this Friday card. It is the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Los Angeles Lakers. A big game here because suddenly the Lakers are right nipping at the heels of Minnesota here in the Western Conference. Minnesota 1-point road favorites, 227.5 the total in this game. You know, I can't believe we're at this point, but I'm at this point. You know, it's not as easy right now to step in front of the LA Lakers. It's just, playing a little bit better. They've won 4 of the last 5 games at home here lately. We've seen them play good. New Orleans, Golden State, back-to-back home wins. 3-game road trip, beat Dallas, beat Oklahoma City. They did lose to Memphis, but, that was probably the toughest team of the bunch. Now they're back home here. They are off of the road trip. That is the one concern. You're talking about that, especially a West Coast team coming back from a road trip or an East Coast team coming back from a road trip. It can be a little bit of a dicey spot. Minnesota, though, they had lost 3 in a row, really didn't play all that well until the Clipper game, their last game, where they got a 108-101 victory. Cat is still out, Karl Anthony Towns. Looks like on the LA Lakers side of the equation, we know LeBron's still out indefinitely. At least 3 weeks is the prognosis for him with that right foot tendon injury that he suffered recently. Anthony Davis will play tonight, and it looks like Dennis Schroeder here for the Lakers is a go. There was some concern about that left ankle of his, but looks like he's going to be in the lineup tonight for Darvin Ham and the LA Lakers. So, I actually lean Lakers here. I do. I mean, but they are coming off a road trip. That's always a little bit of a dicey spot to back a team. So for that reason, I might not pull the trigger, but LA is perking up and they're playing like a team that at least wants to get into this play-in spot, which they now hold one, a play-in spot that is in the Western Conference. So as they continue to build on it, what do you think here, Skee? Timberwolves, Lakers?
I agree with what you said as far as, they're playing like they want to get into it. When I do these Laker games, I like to at least start off with a query or something just because everybody's going to say I'm being biased, if not anyway. So I just got specific with the situation the Lakers are in. It's a home team off of a win at the rest disadvantage. We're looking at them trying to get same season revenge. and it's a conference game after the All-Star break with their opponent on the front end of a back-to-back. This is the entire database, which goes all the way back to 1995. It says 98-59 straight up, 62.4%. That's good enough for me, man, because I already feel like I like the Lakers, just the way that they've been playing, everything Bobano was saying. They're playing hard. If D'Lo was in this game, I would feel like it was a game that the Timberwolves would try a little bit harder for, just because they hate him. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't wait to get him out the locker room. But because he's not out there, I just feel, and they have a game tomorrow, I feel like the more motivated team and the team that's going to bring the most effort tonight for the full 48 minutes is the LA Lakers. So better offensive rated team, better rebounding team post All-Star. The defensive rating dropped because of that Memphis game, but I still think they're the better defense. So give me Lakers, and I like the under. They've been playing under games anyway. I think every game except for one since the trade has gone under. I'm looking at so far this season, we'll look at road teams on the front end of a back-to-back in conference games. As long as, the first time they played, or the last time they played this season went under, it's 21-8 to the under this season, 72.4%. I know, to simplify it, road teams on the front of a back-to-back in conference games post All-Star break, they're 11-1 to the under. So I think this is a lower scoring game, and it's because the Lakers are clamping up and getting that W.
All right, there we go. I like in the LA. This is one where I agree. Actually, it's hard. The Lakers they're not. Forget 2 months ago, 3 months ago. It's a little bit of a different looking team right now. They're playing with a little energy now, a little purpose. There's no question. So, and even without LeBron in the lineup, we've seen them be able to get the job done. I think Anthony Davis, like if it wasn't Gobert on the other side, I'd really be looking to go back on the Anthony Davis over rebounds prop. I mean, that's been something I've been looking at. I think I had it in the Memphis game recently that they played, and he soared over that rebounds prop there. So, but again, he's got the Rudy Gobert matchup on the other side, but I still have been cashing with Davis rebounds lately, and still lean that way. What do you think here in this one, Billy?
You're saying Rudy Gobert matchup like he's something to be scared of. Rudy Gobert is watch this weekend will prove those French men are soft.
So stick with it then. Davis over rebounds then. All right.
we're rolling with the AD rebounds. Points and rebounds tonight. Frenchmen are soft. You'll see what happens to Real Gone this weekend. That's all I got to say for this one. I got on my hands and knees and prayed to God the other day when the Lakers fucking ruled Anthony Davis out there, played the Thunder, and I had way too much money on the Lakers. So I don't think I need to go back down the route of putting money in on the Lakers for another 3 weeks to a month. So I got my Lakers fandom in.
There you go. All right. Like in AD here to have a good game. No Mercer for me, Nasty Nate. I think the Citadel plus the points hangs in that game. That line was shockingly and suspiciously low on Mercer there. And I'm thinking to myself, why is that? And look, I'm sure Cab and Connor Mack will talk about it on the college basketball show coming up, but I like the dog there. I think it's I think, and you look at it, Mercer prior to their last game, they weren't playing well. Now they're laying big points on a neutral court, so I don't trust Mercer. The Citadel's not a good team. Don't get me wrong; they're not good, but I think tonight they can hang in that game. They're getting they were getting 8 when I bet it. It's actually 6.5, 7. So there's some money that's come in on the Citadel there. Anyway, good stuff. Thanks to everyone in the chat for joining us. Hit the like button. We appreciate it very much. If you want more college basketball, make sure you stay tuned. We've got Connor Mack, Dabby Cab, top of the hour, college basketball net profit. Remember, I'm not on Fridays because I'm doing the college basketball with Jimmy the Bag in the morning on Betting with the Bag. So it's going to be Connor Mack and Dabby Cab. They'll have your college basketball show today at 5 p.m., but I'll be on with them in the morning as usual on Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern for the college basketball Pub Hub for the big Saturday slate. Hit the like button. Razor Sharp's going to have the live stream tonight, of course, so make sure you tune into that. There's a big horse racing live stream on Pub Sports Radio tomorrow as well for all those tracks that are going as they get ready for the Kentucky Derby. There's UFC 285 tomorrow night, the return of John Bones Jones, Surreal Gone tomorrow night. So looking forward to that as well. So lots going on here, Pub Sports Radio, including best bets here on the NBA Pub Hub in just a moment, right after we hear from Manscaped and Southtown 101. Southtown 101, when you're in San Antonio, Texas, stop in. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke, Southtown 101 and manscaped.com. Promo code PubSports, 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com using the promo code PubSports. All right, best bets to wrap it up for this Friday edition. Last show of the week here for the NBA Pub Up. Skee, what do you got for best bet?
Hey, real quick, can you put Swiss Horton on there for me, please? He says, serious Skee cashes. Let Skee fade because he's faded. No slight, Skee. He says, I love you, bro. I'm going to tell you, Swiss Horton, I don't take anything. Like, I'm not mad or nothing. It's all good. It's all love. But I do my homework before I get lit. So it really makes no difference on my plays. It just makes a difference how I deliver it. But regardless.
You'll take the vocal delivery being affected rather than the handicapping being affected.
Yeah, so absolutely.
Look at it that way. Yeah.
Absolutely. So best bet for today. It is my real best bet for today too, just because a lot of these numbers that move, I can't. I like this one too. I was thinking about giving another one, but the numbers have moved, so I'm gonna go with the one that stayed the same. And I played it for a good amount. I'll go Memphis, Denver. We'll go those top dogs duking it out under the 234.
All right, there you go. Memphis, Denver, under 234 for Skee with his best bet for this Friday card. All right, what have you got here, Billy Briz, for best bet?
Hey, don't talk about my M&Ms. This is a good snack right here. Best bet tonight. Shouts to FanDuel, man. Not a sponsor of the show, but a sponsor of my sports betting account tonight. We got the trade day profit boost, so I'll give out 3 best bets. Jason Tatum over 3.5 3-pointers, plus 193. Cam Reddish over 1.5 3-pointers, plus 102. Paul George over 2.5 3-pointers, minus 122. Go get that profit boost at FanDuel today, baby. 30% on the 3-point prop, man. That's lovely.
There we go. That's a good boost. Take advantage of it for sure. So there you go. Best bets times 2 times 3 right there for Billy Briz on this Friday edition. For me, best bet is going to be Portland, Atlanta over 241. It is definitely one of my favorite, might be my favorite bet on this card. I just think you're going to see a lot of points. You know, Trae Young's got it going right now for Atlanta. You mentioned, as Billy Briz mentioned it, you got Cam Reddish wanting to prove a point. He could have a big offensive night against an Atlanta team that's still defensively, it's a work in progress. And, of course, Dame Lillard's always a threat to go off. And I think you'll see points here tonight in the ATL. Blazers, Hawks over 241 for my best bet on this Friday NBA card. That'll wrap up this edition of the NBA Pub Up. Hopefully we get a good second half here with this Indiana State Belmont College game. We're way overpaced to go over that total. Hopefully that bet comes through. Speaking of college basketball, we've got Net Profit coming up with Connor Mack and Dabby Cab. So make sure you stick around for that. For Billy Briz and Skee Profit, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Friday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. And we will see you again on Monday, on OG Monday, with me, with Skee, Wham, and Dutch on Monday for another edition of the NBA Pub Up right here on Pub Sports Radio.